Hello everyone, this is AgentRuss and welcome back to the channel. In the previous episode, we implemented pickups and a basic inventory system. Items were stored as a simple string like coin or potion. That works for testing, but real games need more information about each item. In this episode, we will introduce an item definition database, so every item has metadata like a name, icon, and stack rules. First, we are going to create a new folder under source folder. We are going to call this folder data. Inside this folder, we are going to create a new file, and we will call this file itemdatabase.js. Inside this file, we're going to say export constant item database equals, for the first item, we're going to say coin, and inside here, we'll say ID equals coin, name is coin, description, currency used by merchants, and the stack size is 999. Next item will be potion. The ID is potion. Name is health potion. Description is restore health. And the stack size is 10. And we can create one more item. Let's call this one gem. The ID will be gem. Name is going to be gemstone. Description, we can say a valuable crafting material. And the stack size is 50. So instead of hard coding item behavior everywhere, we store item definitions in a central database. This lets the rest of the engine look up item information by ID. Next, we will go to the inventory system. Inside here, we're going to import item database. And inside the update function, we're going to make some changes. We are going to replace these three lines. We will say constant definition equals item database event.itemID. If it's not definition, we'll say console.warn unknown item ID event.itemID. And now we'll continue. And after this if statement, we can say constant before equals inventory.items event.itemID or 0. Constant max stack equals definition.stack size. If not, let's say 9999. Constant after equals math.min before plus event.amount and max stack inventory.items event.itemID equals after. Now inventory respects stacks limit defined by the item database. If a portion only stacks to 10, the inventory system will enforce that rule automatically. Next, we will go to the inventory UI system. Inside here, we're going to import item database, and right here where we append line, we're going to make some changes. So in here, we're going to say constant definition equals item database event.itemID, constant name equals definition.name, if not event.itemID. And then inside here, instead of saying this, so we're going to keep this, and instead of event item ID, let's change this to name, and the rest can stay the same. So the UI now shows proper item names instead of raw item IDs. Now let's go to the test level factory and add a new item pickup. Right under here, we can say create pickup. We'll pass the world scene, and for the object, we'll say X is 0, Y is 0.25, Z is 8, item ID is gem, and amount is, let's say, 2. And let's save this file. Because item definitions are data-driven, adding new items is as simple as creating a definition and spawning a pickup. Next, we can add some colors to our pickup items. Let's go to pickup factory. After creating our material, we can say if item ID is coin, math.color.set, and we can set this one to something like 0xFFT700. And for the next one, we can say if item ID is portion, math.color.set, and we can set this one to 0xFF40 and 40. And finally, for gems, we can say if item ID is gem, math.color.set, and we can set this one to 0x40 FF and FF. So Visual feedback helps distinguish items quickly. Later, we will replace this with icons or models loaded from assets. Now let's go ahead and test it. I'm going to make the game screen bigger. And as you can see, the yellow ones are the coins. The red one is the health potion. And this light blue green one is the gem. So let's go ahead and collect some of the pickup items. We can go collect the health potion. So we are right now on top of the health potion. And we can press E. And inventory will say +1 health potion. And in total we have 1. And we can go ahead and collect the gem. So we'll press E. It will say +2 gemstone. And the total we have +2. Then we can go ahead and collect the coins. So the first one we'll press E. It will say +1 coin and the total is 1. Let's go ahead, collect the last item. So we'll press E. It will say +5 coin and the total number of coins are 6. And that's it for this episode. We now have a proper item definition database powering our inventory system. Instead of treating items as simple strings, our engine now understands that each item can have its own metadata, like a name, description, and stack size. That may seem like a small change, but architecturally it's a huge step. It means the inventory system is no longer just storing arbitrary labels. It's storing structured gameplay data that can scale into real RPG framework. And because of those definitions live in a separate data file, adding new items becomes much easier. We don't have to rewrite systems every time we add a potion, a gem, or some new type of loot. This is exactly the kind of data-driven design that makes an engine reusable and expandable. In the next episode, we are going to take the next logical step using items. We will make consumables actually do something. For example, we will let the player use a health potion, emit a use item event, and then process healing through the same event-driven architecture we have been building. That means episode 23 will introduce item usage, healing, consumable item logic, and the beginning of a more complete RPG gameplay loop. We are moving from just collecting items to actually making them matter in gameplay. If you are enjoying the episode so far, make sure to like the video and subscribe the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm AgentRuss. See you next time.